From here, Rosner spots Casper back away from the old man until he stands behind the counter once more. Unlike before, the old man follows with extreme ease, hardly using the staff, if at all. As the old man closes in on Casper, his skeletal figure starts to plead. The old man continues his approach until he is right in front of Casper. Here, a brief second passes where neither does anything. Then Casper's body relaxes, and he folds his hand in front of him as though giving a prayer of thanks. Just when Rosner thinks the old man will leave Casper alone, he grabs the butcher's hand in one of his and pins them to the counter. He hardly sees the man move. Behind Rosner, merchants shout about their wares. He can hear the various discussions going on behind him. Neither matter. The desire to know what is going on between the two in front of him is overpowering. Besides, it may also help him figure out who the old man is. Casper begins to plead again, fiercer than before. His eyes do not tear, but Casper holds the fear of 100 men. His legs buckle and he falls to the counter. Tendrils of smoke rise from Casper's hands, still pinned beneath the old man's apparent iron grip. As the smoke builds, Rosner realizes only too late that it drifts from Casper himself. The smoke snakes its way up Casper's arms and over his body. Within seconds, smoke spits out of his eyes. Then he begins to wither. The smoke peels at Casper's skin and flesh, stripping him to the bone. Then they too disappear. As the last of Casper disintegrates into thin air, Rosner whips around and faces the street. His heart pounds in his chest. What in the 7 realms did he just witness? And who is that old man really? Rosner's skin starts to prickle and the hairs on his neck stand, freezing his thoughts where they are. Slowly, he turns back around. A second later, Rosner is halfway across the street, screaming. Staring after him is the old man. Rosner barges through the front door. "Mom!" His mind is racing. This is just too much to take in by himself. Someone needs to know what happened. On his way back home, his mind goes directly to his mother. She will understand. He tells her everything, so why should this be any different? His mother peers in front of him in a second, worry streaked across her face. What? What is it, dear? Mom, you are never going to believe this. As the words fall out of his mouth, he realizes how true they are. He might tell her everything, but there is no way she will believe this one. No one will. If he were to walk up to anyone and tell them he saw someone disintegrate at the hand of another, they will call him crazy. Even worse, they might believe he did it and try to frame him as a demon. Even now, thinking about it seems uncanny. He attempts to convince himself to be a figment of his imagination, but falls flat. He knows fully well that it is not. His mother lowers herself to look him in the eyes. Rosner, what is going on? Oh, nothing, Mother. He tries to play it off. Casper, he was not there. His voice chokes at the memory of Casper disappearing. Casper was there, even though he looked dead. Thanks to the old man, however, it will look to everyone like Casper just left. Oh. His mother straightens. Her eyes drift to the bag of meat in his hand. Then how, she inquires, did you come across this? Before Rosner can react, his mother snatches it from him. For a moment, Rosner fumbles over his words, trying to find something to aid him. He told me where he hides his spare key, in case he forgets to let me in to clean. He notices his mother considering the answer. Eventually, she nods and walks away. Okay. By the way, you have a letter. Rosner lets out a breath he did not realize he was holding. He is thankful she drops the subject. However, after she mentions the letter, fear trickles throughout his body. No one sends him letters, nor has he sent one. After what happened to Casper, he's not sure he wants to open one. However, he realizes if he hesitates any longer, he risks his mother's suspicion of their previous conversation. So he walks into the kitchen. On the table sits a folded piece of parchment stamped shut. Rosner walks over to it with caution, edging on every step. He carefully picks it up and examines it. The parchment itself is very thin and light, but the stamp is something different. Centered in the heap of wax is a flaming circle with a teardrop in its center. You know, his mother starts, making Rosner jump. His mother gives him a sideways glance. After a brief, awkward pause, his mother continues. Strangely enough, that arrived only just after you left. By which fashion? Hawk, of all creatures, his mother breathes. I know of pigeons, horseback, quail on occasion, but hawk? That is something else. As she says this, she turns around to face her son. Which makes me wonder, who sent it to you, and what does it say? If only Rosner could answer her without having to open it. Unfortunately, having no answer to such a question leaves him with only one choice. He breaks open the seal and opens it. A short, flowing message is written in the center. I would like to show you something in the woods near the outskirts of west of Farmer Tilbur's mill. Please meet me there 2 days from now, when the life-giver seats her throne. Ilsa. Disbelief consumes Rosner as the letter slips from his hands and floats down to the table. He turns to his mother. It's from Ilsa.